Now, an hour to give on Country 1011. From philanthropists to foundations, nonprofits to volunteers, each working hard every day to make our city a better place. Join us as we celebrate the art of giving in Ottawa and the Valley. Here's your host, Sam Laprade.
Welcome to An Hour to Give. I'm Sam Laprade. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We're going to learn all about Cornerstone Housing for Women today. This show is all about community philanthropy and, of course, volunteerism. And I'd like to introduce our very first guest today, Jo Deslardier. How are you, Jo? How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Jo, tell me a little bit about your connection with Cornerstone. Why are you involved?
Because I escaped an abusive relationship, and so was able to find a safe haven to go to, and it was Cornerstone.
Yeah. So take me back a little bit, Jo, because I think when people hear that someone's escaped an abusive relationship, they may not really understand what that meant for you on a day-to-day basis. What did that look like?
On a day-to-day basis, trying to do the right thing not to get hit was one of the main important things that I had to deal with every day. When a woman gets into that situation, by the time it's that bad, there is no way out. And they carry shame. And a lot of people want to lay judgment as soon as you leave. It's better to stay sometimes. That's what you're thinking. Because the most dangerous time for a woman is when she's leaving. And they know that they're losing you. That's the most dangerous time for a woman.
Before we go any farther, I just want to thank you so much for your honesty and for sharing your story today, because it's a difficult story to share. There's hope at the end of it.
Yes.
But to tell your story so bravely, I just want to thank you very much for that.
Oh, thank you. No problem. I just want someone that was in my situation to know that they're not alone and they're not the first person to go through that. And they probably won't be the last.
I'm assuming, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming it's a lonely place.
It's a very lonely place. Like, I'm on my own in this world. When I left my ex-husband, I just walked away because I didn't want to use my son to hurt him, and that's the game he played with me. So I just left and ended up in a worse situation, but in the long run, it's better for me because I'm learning to become the woman I was always meant to be.
So it feels empowering when you say that.
It's very empowering. Yeah. I know. I just got a rush.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And so, I mean, it's obviously a very difficult situation to, to share your story. But take me back to maybe the days leading up to you deciding to leave.
To leave? Very scary. He already caught me one time. So every time they catch you, the beatings get worse. So I believe it's something like the 7th time. If a woman doesn't make it out the 7th time, she will probably be killed. And I think that was my 7th time. He tried choking me and smothering me, and somehow I got away, and that was it. I was done. Yeah, I was done. Called the cops. He went to jail. And I started my new life.
Started your new life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the stats in terms of domestic violence, in terms of femicide, are staggering in this country, staggering in this community. And what you've just shared is exactly the life that you were leading. And so give us a sense of the support that you felt when you did walk through Cornerstone for the very first time.
It was no judgment. Someone in my situation needs a place to go to where there's going to be no judgment, and not to be asked, how come you didn't leave? Why didn't you call the police? Those are the worst questions that I'm asked, because when a woman's leaving that situation, we're still trying to figure out what happened, how we got there, and how we let that happen to us. So I didn't even know the question, how to answer it. So, and I still get answered that question. Well, why didn't you call the cops? Because you carry a lot of shame. And it's, you know, it's shameful, and that's what they want, is for you to be shameful. Like, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to have to come out and say, like, this is the life I was living, because a lot of times it's in secret, and it's a secret. Like, you keep the secret, they're keeping the secret, because you don't want nobody to find out.
And when you did open up to people at Cornerstone and shared your story, it felt safe, I'm assuming?
Yes, felt very safe. It was a safe place. Safe place. No judgment, no nothing. We're here for you. You know, you can find, you know, not everybody connects with everybody, but there's someone there for everyone. Yeah.
And so tell me about your life now.
Oh, my life is amazing. I never thought that I could be so happy and feel so good. I have a home and I'm safe. My first home since I was 17 years old that I was safe. And I'm 50. So over 30 years of abuse I took. Yeah.
And did you leave during the pandemic, Joe?
No,
Was before?
before the pandemic. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people through the pandemic, you know, we hear the prime minister and the premier and the mayor, everyone telling us, go home. And for so many, it wasn't a safe place.
Not a safe place. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like, to have to be stuck there 24/7. Very dangerous.
Did you think about that during the pandemic?
Not so much, because I was just still kind of like coming out of the fog, as I guess you could say. Yeah.
And so in terms of, you know, moving forward with your life and like you said, becoming the woman that you always thought you could be at 50, what does the next year look like for you, Joe?
Not sure. I mean, I've done a lot of healing, but I have a ways to go yet. Like they say, the amount of time that you were abused, that's the amount of time it takes to heal. I mean, I'll be healing every day, but everything looks bright. Yeah.
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 And what would you say to somebody that maybe, you know, this is foreign to them, that they've never had any of this happen in their life? What would you say to somebody that is maybe listening to your story and not understanding it because they haven't had that experience?
Yes.
What would you want them to know?
There's no words to say, because unless you lived it, you can't understand it. Best thing I could say is just don't judge. Don't judge what you see. Like I have tattoos and that, and I know people probably judge me by looking, but then once they start talking to me and they realize, like, wow, you know, you're not what I thought you would be. Best thing is to just no judgment, and it's a scary place to be. And for a woman to come forward, that takes a lot of guts, and that in itself is something to be proud of her for. Yeah.
And the holidays, how have they differed? Because we hear a lot in terms of domestic violence that bigger sort of times, whether it be around the Super Bowl or whether it be holidays or birthdays or special occasions, that can actually be a trigger in the home.
So with my ex-husband, it was good because I had my kids. I mean, the abuse was there. But with my ex-boyfriend, we didn't celebrate nothing. I would sleep all day because I didn't have my kids. But I'm sure it's a trying time, right? Nobody has money. It's stressful. And it's sad to say that the person being abused is going to get the butt end of the stick, you know? But it's a very scary, anything stressful, anything that doesn't go their way, it's the person being abused that pays for it. And it's a sad thing to say. And there's a lot of people that are suffering in silence, not just women, men too. Yeah.
When you were asked by Cornerstone to share your story with me and to share your story with Cornerstone stakeholders and donors and people that are very engaged with the work, what was your first reaction? Did you want to share your story? Did you want to get it out there?
Yes, I'm totally open with my story. I have a TikTok channel that I share Everything from the ugly crying to my happy moments. Because I want, it came to the point where I was in the hospital and the doctor just finished telling me he thought my face was broken. And they asked me for emergency contact. And I was like, wow, I have nobody. They're like, that's okay. That's why we're there. And I said, no, like, I have a family. Like, that was my lowest point. And I want someone, if they're in that situation, to maybe they hear my story and know that it does get better. And they're, you do have a chance to shine.
Oh, you are inspiring.
Yes.
There are
thank
no
you.
two ways about it. You are absolutely inspiring.
Thank you.
And I think people, and the reason I asked the question earlier about people that have never experienced this, because I think people have this sense of, or they have this perception of who experiences abuse. But the reality is, we know that it's across every neighborhood.
Yes.
That it is not deemed by anything financial or, from society's perspective, it can be in every neighborhood in this city.
It is in every neighborhood in this city. Because the people that are abusing, they know where to hit you so that the bruises don't show.
Well, that breaks my heart.
Yeah. The bruises don't show. And the woman will always, I heard a saying that it said, you lied to everybody so that they would hate me. And I lied to everybody so that they would like you.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's true.
That's powerful.
It's true.
That's powerful. We only have a minute. I could talk to you for an hour easily, but we only have a minute. What would you say to people that have donated to Cornerstone over the years so that you would have this safe place?
Oh, thank you. Like, there's not enough thank yous that I can say, because it's all walks of life that are being helped. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And we appreciate it so much. And we're so thankful every day. Yeah.
I can tell. I will never forget you, and I'm so grateful for your time today. We're going to be meeting lots of other people from Cornerstone today. Don't tell them, but you're my favorite. Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate your time today. We're spending time today with many, many guests from Cornerstone. You've heard Joe's story. I know it's inspired you. The inspiration will continue here on An Hour to Give. I'm Sam LaPrade. Come on back, everyone.
An Hour to Give with Sam LaPrade will return in a moment on Country 1011.
We've missed you.